Christmas dinner was canceled due to an ice storm, and everyone was advised to stay safe according to a text from my mother. Staring at my phone in disbelief, I understood the potential danger of Nashville's winter weather. My name is Catherine, a 32-year-old accountant, and until last Christmas, I believed myself to be the quiet. When Anna announced she'd host Christmas, I offered help, but nothing seemed to change the misconception of her being the ideal daughter and me the inconspicuous one. That revelation on Christmas shifted everything for me, though I wasn't aware of the full extent it would take at the time. Anna organized it last minute, and you know how you can be at gatherings, always quiet and making everyone uncomfortable. We just thought what? I pressed that it would be better to lie to me, to let me spend Christmas alone, while pretending everyone else was doing the same? Don't be so dramatic, my mother sighed. We were trying to avoid any awkwardness. You know how Anna wanted everything to be perfect. That's when it hit me. All the past canceled events, the times plans mysteriously fell through. The family photos I'd later see on social media, this wasn't a one-time occurrence. It was a pattern. How many times? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. How many other gatherings have you lied to me about? Another telling silence followed. Catherine, you're being oversensitive. This is exactly why Why what? I interrupted. Why you exclude me? Why you pretend I don't exist unless you need something? Why Anna gets to be the perfect daughter, while I'm treated like an inconvenience? That's not fair, my mother protested. We love you both equally. It's just that Anna makes the effort to be part of the family. You're always so busy with work. I laughed bitterly. Busy with work? You mean busy helping pay your mortgage, busy taking care of Dad after his surgery, that kind of busy? Listen, my mother's voice turned stern. If you're going to be like this, maybe it's better if we give each other some space. Call me when you're ready to be reasonable. The line went dead. I sat there, staring at my phone as 32 years of memories suddenly shifted into sharp, painful focus. Every excuse, every dismissal, every misunderstanding had all been deliberate. I wasn't the problem, I never had been. That was the moment I stopped making excuses for them, the moment I finally saw the truth. I didn't have a family. I had people who shared my DNA, but treated me like an afterthought. After that phone call, something inside me snapped. I was done being the family doormat. I opened my laptop and started writing an email to my entire family, parents, sister, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone who had been at that Christmas dinner. My fingers flew across the keyboard as years of pent-up feelings poured out. I've seen the photos from Christmas dinner. I wrote, the dinner I was told was canceled due to an imaginary ice storm. I want you all to know exactly what you've done. You didn't just exclude me from a family gathering. You coordinated an elaborate lie to make me spend Christmas alone. I attached screenshots of my mom's stay home. Everyone's doing the same, text messages alongside the social media photos showing their celebration. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. The responses started flooding, and almost immediately, Aunt Marie insisted that they neglected to inform me about the change of plans. Uncle Robert accused me of blowing things out of proportion. My cousin Na, whose post on GS revealed their dishonesty, swiftly erased all Christmas photos and messaged me about how I was bringing unwanted drama. Then Anna responded with a lengthy, patronizing email criticizing my lack of participation at family events, stating she just desired a flawless holiday. She even had the cheek to mention that excluding me was beneficial for me since I supposedly dislike family gatherings. However, my parents' reaction truly unveiled their true nature to me. Rather than apologizing, they chose to attack. My mother contacted mutual family acquaintances, painting a picture of me having a breakdown. Dad sent me a strict email emphasizing the importance of family privacy and denouncing airing our grievances. You've really done it now, Anna texted me. Mom's crying. Everyone's upset. And it's all because you couldn't accept that maybe you're the issue. This is exactly why you weren't welcomed at Christmas. It felt surreal being the villain for exposing their actions, despite their deliberate exclusion and deceit. The more I defended myself, the wider they spun the story, and when I refused to retreat and apologize, they intensified their actions. Mom started showing up at my office without notice, causing commotions in the lobby. Anna began vague social media posts regarding toxic individuals and prioritizing peace over family. Dad threatened to disinherit me if I didn't conform. Their attempts at intimidation only solidified my understanding that this wasn't a loving family safeguarding itself. It was a toxic system desperate to control someone no longer playing by their rules. I resolved to do more than merely reveal their lies. I needed to fully liberate myself from their manipulation. Little did they suspect I was already crafting a plan demonstrating the consequences of alienating their lone supporter. A week following my confrontational email, I unexpectedly heard from Rachel, a former family associate who had managed my parents' finances in the past. "Catherine, I've been following what's unfolding with your family on social media. There's something you ought to know. Can we meet?" I accepted and met her at a serene cafe in town. Rachel appeared uneasy, gripping a manila envelope. "I've carried this guilt for years," she began, sliding the envelope over the table. "Your father insisted on secrecy, but seeing their current treatment of you, I can't remain silent." Inside were bank statements and legal papers stretching back 15 years. As I skimmed through, my hands trembled. Those records revealed my grandfather had bequeathed a substantial sum, nearly $300,000, earmarked for my future and education, money I had been unaware of. "Your father was the trustee," Rachel clarified softly. "He was meant to provide you access upon turning 25. Instead, he funneled everything into Anna's accounts, supporting her lifestyle and failed ventures." The revelation struck like a physical blow. All those years of working overtime to afford my accounting degree, the student loans I still owed, the instances I assisted them with their mortgage, they had been hoarding my inheritance, spending it on Anna. "There's more," Rachel revealed. "They had been given complete control over my financial dealings and had methodically siphoned off my inheritance, all while I struggled and felt pressured to assist with their expenses, leaving me ridden with guilt for not contributing enough to the family." Worse still, the statements revealed regular transfers to Anna, marked as business investments, which were funds taken from my inheritance to support her yoga studios and retreats in Bali, excursions they celebrated her for while deriding my mundane accounting career. "Why tell me now?" asked Rachel, my voice barely steady. Her response was filled with concern. "Because I noticed your mother's social media posts portraying you as unstable and ungrateful. They're attempting to undermine your credibility before you discover the truth. For years, Catherine, they've misappropriated your funds." Suddenly, "Rachel, I now know exactly what I need to do." This was no longer about a spoiled Christmas. It was about years of calculated deceit and theft. As an accountant with extensive experience in tracking financial fraud, I was uniquely capable of making them confront the repercussions. With Rachel's documents in my possession, I spent the following week meticulously assembling my case. With my accounting expertise, I systematically traced every unauthorized transfer, every misuse of power of attorney, every fraudulent document. Additionally, I enlisted Sarah Chen, a lawyer specializing in estate fraud, to review everything. "This is a clear case of financial exploitation," Sarah affirmed. "We can proceed with criminal charges if you choose." I pondered my options carefully. Although a criminal case would tarnish my family's reputation, they had already shattered our relationship. Nonetheless, I resolved to give them a final opportunity to make things right. I emailed my parents and Anna, proposing a family meeting to resolve our differences. They leapt at the chance. The family group chat was flooded with messages, mostly from relatives siding with them, naturally. But I stayed calm, knowing I had the truth and evidence on my side. The ball is in their court now. I told Sarah over the phone that evening, though I suspected they wouldn't make the right decision. I was prepared for any eventuality, as they had already given me the ultimate gift: freedom from their manipulation. True to my expectations, the 48-hour deadline passed, and the family chose pride over truth. Instead of signing the confession or arranging transfers, they attempted to destroy evidence, close accounts, shred documents, and even pressured Rachel to retract her statement. Unbeknownst to them, I had already submitted everything to the authorities. The morning after the deadline, I formally pressed charges, and by the afternoon, the police were at their doorsteps with search warrants. From my office, I watched events unfold. My father was taken away from his workplace in handcuffs, and his yoga studio, bought with stolen money, was seized. And my mother's carefully constructed social media presence shattered as she was arrested during one of her charity meetings. The family group chat erupted again, but in a different tone now. Those who had dismissed my claims fell silent as the evidence became public record. The local newspaper published a story on the downfall of the prominent family. The facade they maintained for years was dismantled in a single day. I received a text from Rachel. "You did the right thing. Your grandfather would be proud." She was right. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about justice. Watching the lies unfold brought no joy, just relief, as the truth finally came out, and I was at last free. A year later, I sat in my new home in Denver, watching the snow fall outside my window. The court case had wrapped up months prior. Both my parents took plea deals, agreeing to pay restitution. Anna's yoga empire had collapsed, leading her to find a real job as a receptionist. The perfect family image they worked to maintain was gone for good.